Have you ever felt a strange, quiet rumbling in your soul, as if the very ground of your being was beginning to shift in ways you couldn't quite explain? It's not anxiety. You know that old ghost well. This is different. This feels more like a deep tectonic hum, a subterranean stirring that makes your old life, the one you worked so hard to build, suddenly feel as stable as a house of cards in a gentle breeze. You're checking off all the spiritual boxes, seeing the synchronicities dance at the edge of your vision. Yet a profound and unsettling transformation is underway that defies all the pretty descriptions you've read. What if I told you that this isn't a sign you're losing your way, but rather the universe's most sacred and ruthless act of grace? This isn't about preparing you for a meeting. It's about preparing you for a merger of souls, so potent, so divinely orchestrated, that it requires the complete and total rewiring of your entire existence. The longing, the chaos, the beautiful, terrifying unraveling, it's all a precise calibration. And the most mysterious part of this entire process is happening in the very places you've been taught to ignore. In the quiet death of what was once good enough, making space for a miracle that is already knocking softly on the door of your awakening heart. And now you're here, in the quiet, terrifying chaos of spiritual vertigo. It's the sensation of picking up your favorite, most dog-eared spiritual text and the words feeling like meaningless hieroglyphics. It's sitting on your meditation cushion and feeling nothing but the faint ache in your lower back and the frantic buzz of your own thoughts. It's praying, and your words seem to hit the ceiling and fall right back down, lifeless. The connection you once felt to your twin flame, that warm, sure certain chord of golden light in your heart, now feels cold and silent. And the first, most human thought that screams through you is, what did I do wrong? I've lost it. I've lost the plot, the magic, them. Oh, beautiful soul, you have lost nothing. You are being upgraded. Think of it this way. You've been navigating with a brilliant, complex, and incredibly detailed map. You learned every contour, every trail, every potential dead end. You became a master cartographer of the spiritual journey. But the universe, in its ultimate wisdom, is now asking you to not just read the territory, but to become the territory itself. It is surgically, and yes, sometimes ruthlessly, removing your dependency on the map. This vertigo is the disorientation you feel when the paper in your hands dissolves and you are left standing, barefoot and vulnerable, on the actual, living, breathing earth of your own soul. It's terrifying because it's real, it's authentic, it's unmediated. This is the great cosmic joke, the divine irony they don't put on the inspirational posters. The final initiation before union often looks and feels like its absolute opposite. It feels like abandonment. It feels like failure. It's the dark night of the soul, specific to the twin flame path, where the very concept of a twin flame becomes a hollow intellectual idea, utterly devoid of the feeling that once made it come alive. You are being asked to want God, to want source, to want union for itself, not for the beautiful, comforting feelings it gave you along the way. You are being weaned off the spiritual high to prepare you for a state of permanent, grounded sobriety in the divine. It's like a guitarist who has practiced for years with a capo on the 3rd fret. The music is beautiful, but it's in a different key. The universe is now taking that capo off. Suddenly, your fingers are fumbling. The chords sound wrong, dissonant. You feel like you've forgotten how to play altogether. But this is the necessary step to learn to play in the true, fundamental key, the key that will allow you to harmonize perfectly with another without any artificial adjustments. The silence you hear isn't emptiness, it's the orchestra tuning up before a symphony. So when you find yourself staring at a wall, unable to muster the energy for one more yoga pose or one more affirmation, I want you to try something radical. Stop. Just stop. Surrender. Stop trying to find the connection and allow yourself to be the connection, even in the silence, even in the ache. This vertigo is not a void, it is a womb. It is the sacred, hollowed out space within you being prepared to house a resonance so profound, so infinitely deep, that it can only be filled by the mirror of your own complete self. You're not falling apart. You're being unknit, so you can be rewoven together with the golden thread of your other half. And the most fascinating part of this entire bewildering process, it's happening for a reason that has everything to do with the life you've built without them, but that's a conversation for another time. So you've navigated the spiritual vertigo. You've sat in the silent, unnerving void and somehow, against all odds, found a strange new kind of footing there. You've stopped trying to read the map and have started to trust the ground beneath your feet. Even when it trembles, you feel clearer, more authentic, and then, just as you're catching your breath, you watch as the universe, with the quiet, impartial precision of a master architect, lays a gentle but unstoppable wrecking ball against the very walls that have sheltered you for years. This, my dear, is the sacred demolition of your proxy kingdoms, and it's perhaps the most misunderstood and most heartbreakingly beautiful part of the entire preparation. Let me paint you a picture. For years, maybe decades, your soul has carried this quiet, homesick ache, a deep, cellular memory of a love so vast it defies description. And because we are human, and because we are built for survival, we did what any sensible creature would do. We started building shelters against the storm of that longing. We constructed entire kingdoms out of good enough, and let's be clear, these are not the toxic, drama-filled situations we're grateful to escape. No, these are far more insidious because they are lovely. They are the relationship with the kind, decent person who looks perfect on paper, but whose soul never quite touches the deepest, most dormant parts of your own. It's the career that provides stability, respect, and a comfortable paycheck, but feels like you're wearing a suit tailored for someone else. It's the circle of friends with whom you share pleasantries and pastimes, but never the terrifying, glorious truth of your spiritual awakening. These are your proxy kingdoms, beautiful, sturdy, well-appointed barns built to house a longing for a palace, and you, being the brilliant, resilient soul you are, learn to be happy there. You decorated the walls. You found genuine joy in the shelter they provided. You told yourself, this is probably it. This is what life is. And it's good. It's fine. But deep down, in the secret, silent chamber of your heart, where the memory of your twin flame flickers like an eternal pilot light, you knew You always knew you were playing a divine game of dress-up. Now, as union approaches, the universe can no longer allow you to live in the beautiful lie. The proxy must go. But here's the crucial and often devastating part. It doesn't collapse in a fiery, dramatic explosion. That would be easy. A clean break, a clear villain, a defined before and after. No, the sacred demolition is a quiet, almost graceful process of erosion. That kind, decent partner may simply wake up one day and, with a calm sadness, say they feel you've drifted on to a different path. And they're right. That stable job may suddenly feel so suffocatingly mundane that you realize you'd rather face financial uncertainty than sell another minute of your soul. Those friendships may just gently fade, not with a fight, but with a slow, mutual understanding that you no longer speak the same emotional language. And this is where the real pain sets in, because this feels like your failure. Your heartbreak is compounded by a thick layer of guilt. How can I be so ungrateful? This was a good life. What is wrong with me that I can't just be content? Let me take your face in my hands, look you straight in the eye, and tell you the truth you need to hear. You are not being ungrateful. You are being upgraded. The universe is not punishing you for building shelters. It is honoring your readiness to finally come home. It is systematically, compassionately removing every single beautiful distraction so that you are left with the one thing you've been running from your entire life: the raw, unadulterated, and absolutely magnetic pull of your own divine truth. This void that's left when the proxy falls, it's not empty. It's a sacred vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the cosmos. This newly cleared space within your life becomes a powerful, energetic invitation. By refusing to settle, by having the courage to stand in the ruins of the good and demand the divinely aligned, you're sending out a frequency so pure, so specific, that it becomes a homing beacon for your twin flame. You're no longer cluttering the signal with the pleasant but irrelevant noise of a proxy life. It's the ultimate act of faith. You're trading the bird in the hand, the solid, tangible, comfortable one, for two in the bush you can't even see yet, and it's terrifying. But can you feel it? That strange, quiet hum in the empty space where your old life used to be? That's not loneliness. That's the sound of the universe making room for a miracle. And the most fascinating part? This demolition is happening in perfect, unseen sync with the journey of another. A story of mirrored separation and silent preparation that is, even now, reaching its own beautiful climax. But that, as they say, is a revelation for another day. So here you are, right here, in this breathtaking, terrifying, and utterly sacred in-between. You've navigated the disorienting fog where your spiritual compass spun wildly, and you've weathered the quiet, heart-wrenching collapse of the good, sturdy bridges that led to a life you thought was yours. You stand now in a landscape that might feel stark, perhaps even a little lonely, but my God, is it honest? And it is in this profound and unadorned honesty that the final, most crucial realization dawns. This was never about preparation for a person. It was about the culmination of a state of being. Think of it not as a path you walk, but as a frequency you become. All this time, through the vertigo and the demolition, the universe hasn't been a cruel teacher administering tests. It has been the most devoted and meticulous sound engineer, tuning your entire being to a note so pure, so perfectly calibrated, that it can only harmonize with one other identical frequency in all existence. The silence you endured, that was the removal of dissonant noise. The structures that fell away, they were soundproof walls you no longer need. You are being tuned, and the process can feel like being taken apart, wire by wire. But the music that is coming, the music that is you, will be worth every moment of the deconstruction. This is the great secret they rarely tell you. The longing you feel for your twin flame is not a hole in you seeking to be filled. It is the magnetic pull of a completed circuit, recognizing its other end. You are not half a soul, desperately searching for your missing piece. You are a whole sovereign being, vibrating at such a high and complete octave that you are now capable of creating a divine resonance with another whole, sovereign being. The union is not about completion, but about magnification. It's the difference between a single candle flame and two flames brought together to create a blaze that lights up the entire room. Let's be a little human for a second. This is the part where you might want to throw your hands up and say, "That's beautiful, but when do I get to hold his hand?" I feel you. The divine is wonderful, but we are creatures of skin and heartbeat. Here is the miraculous, practical magic of it all. By becoming this clear, untethered, and potent frequency, you have made yourself magnetically and logistically findable. You have, perhaps without even realizing it, stopped creating obstacles. The universe operates on the law of resonance, and you have just become the most powerful tuning fork in the room. The how, the when, the where, those are the universe's department, and it has a far better grasp of logistics than we ever could. Your only job now is to continue to be this new, unshakable you, to walk through your days not in desperate seeking, but in joyful anticipation, to understand that every smile you genuinely give, every moment of peace you truly feel, every step you take in your own authentic power is another pulse in the homing signal you are broadcasting. You are no longer a seeker, you are a beacon, and the most breathtaking part of this entire cosmic dance. The person you are destined for has been undergoing their own parallel, equally profound metamorphosis. They too have faced their silent nights and their own quiet demolitions. They too are being forged into a beacon, and in the perfect divine timing that orchestrates galaxies, your signals are now inevitably converging. The path is not behind you, and the goal is not in front of you. The path is beneath you, and the goal is within you, waiting to be recognized in the eyes of the one who mirrors your own magnificent soul. So breathe, beautiful creator. The work was not in vain. The love story you dreamed of wasn't a fantasy. It was a memory of the future, and it is already on its way to you, walking the path you cleared with your own courage, step by synchronized step. In fact, the signs of its approach are often so subtle, so woven into the fabric of your everyday life, that learning to spot them is the final and most delightful art form. But that, perhaps, is a conversation for tomorrow.